Hey everyone, welcome back to Bourbon Battles. I'm Joe.
I'm Chad.
Hey, today we got a doozy for you. Have you had this Eagle Rare from Buffalo Trace? Have you had it?
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to find.
It is.
We're going to be right back with you and show you what you can get to replace this with. All right, hey, thanks for coming back with us, guys. Everybody loves the Eagle Rare. 90 proof, 10 years old. It is not a single barrel. It's a batch product, except for the only chance a bottle has being a batch is the first and last bottle out of a barrel, because they will fill it halfway, then use some from the next barrel. So it's, for lack of a better term, it's almost a single barrel.
And those half-filled barrels, they're highly sought after.
Half-filled bottles?
Yeah.
You say you've seen those. I've never heard of that.
People ordering cases of them. Like, a store or a bar ordering a case of that, and then they start pulling the bottles out on the fifth bottle, sixth bottle. They're like, what the hell? Just
a little bit. Very interesting. So if you've been around the bourbon business for very long, you've been out trying to hunt this stuff.
The whiskey business.
Is it risky?
Yep.
So you know that it's a unicorn.
Well,
it's gotten that way.
So it comes in such waves. We go here in Indiana, we'll go 4 months and never see it anywhere, and then all of a sudden it's everywhere
for a week,
and then it's gone.
So I happen to have.
It's for what it is. It's pretty. Out of all the horsey stuff, it's probably my favorite one.
So I would have said that it's definitely not, except for since we've been doing this. This always does the best in our blinds of any product from Buffalo Trace. So I would have to agree wholeheartedly with Chad on that one. It has beat. It's not won all the battles we've done in it, but it's held up better than the Blantons, the Taylor, until you get into the single barrel or the batch proof stuff.
Right.
I mean, for a 90 proof bourbon, this is now retailing $40. This year it went up, right? Which it's a fantastic $40 bottle of whiskey.
Yeah.
The problem is you can't just go get it. You can go on Facebook and maybe you'll see a guy that's got it for $60. That's probably not a bad deal. If you don't have one, you got to try it. But when you start seeing them for $80, $100, I'm going to say, sorry. So what we wanted to do today is show you 10 alternatives.
What we think.
Now, before everybody gets all crazy.
They're going to get wound up.
They're going to get wound up anyway.
They're going to get wound up because of that, for sure.
This, too. People say it tastes like hobo piss. Yeah. They shouldn't buy it then.
Why are they doing that drinking hobo piss?
That's the part I can't figure out. So we did one of these videos with Blantons, right? You're going to see there may be a couple repeats in here. We want to show you what you can go out that we think is a good alternative. We're not saying these are better, or I'd say some are, some aren't. That's for sure. Just different things. If you can't find this and you want something that's good, this is what you can get. You want to go, Kip? You're up.
All right.
Hey, everyone. We just want to take a quick second to tell you about some interesting opportunities Bourbon Battles has for you, the viewer. And thank you so much for watching. Hey, if you go to our website at www.bourbonbattlesblind.com, right here you'll see it. You'll find links to all of our social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikToks, and most importantly, Patreon. Make sure you check that out. Guys, join that Patreon community. It's $5 a month to get started, and you can be a part of an amazing community where we're doing some great things. We share whiskey. We do all kind of great stuff. It's very well worth your while. A couple other things we got for you. If you've never seen this before, this is Private Preserve. It's a wine preserver. I'm drinking a bottle of wine that's been open for over a month now, and it tastes like the day I bought it. But what's great about it, this is what you're interested in. You take your bottles of whiskey that you want to last for a very long time for long-term storage, take this bad boy off, give it a couple squirts, put your cap back on, and with that blend of nitrogen, CO2, and argon, it's going to preserve this for a very long time. You don't have to worry about your whiskey going bad. Also, make sure you check out the link for Hoosier Wood Guy, who's making these barrel heads. If you follow the link at our website to check these out, you get 10% off just for being a Bourbon Battles viewer. Hey, let's get back to the video.
All right.
What do you say? Here we go.
I am going to Old Faithful.
You've been watching us for very long. This ain't going to surprise you.
100 proof, Evan Hill, Evan Williams, bottle and bond.
It's $50 a bottle.
It's not $50 for 2 half gallons. It's everywhere. I mean, it is. It's one of the most widely available whiskeys out there, I think. but it's kind of white label and a screw off top.
So do you think this bourbon culture, right, the thing that guys like us do, right, put this stuff on YouTube, there's a lot of people that tout this as a phenomenal whiskey. Do you think that's going to change this whole thing and it's going to go to sought after whiskey and possibly increase the price over time?
No.
Because it did it with this, right? I mean, the single barrel is now distillery only, even though there's still a lot of stocks left out there. And you're seeing this now on the secondary markets on Facebook for $75, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
But you think this is pretty safe?
I think so. I mean, I think they've got an entire warehouse with just this in it.
I mean, there's no doubt about it. When it comes to bottle and bond, those 100 proof expressions that are good quality budget items, nobody even comes close to Heaven Hill.
I don't think so.
I mean, not even in the ballpark.
You have JTS Brown.
J.W. Dan, I think, is a fantastic pour.
But I think the Evan Williams Bottle and Bond is the best sleeper on the market. I'm a fan of the 46 cask strength, but it costs quite a bit more than a bottle of this. But I mean, I don't know, guys. I don't think you can go wrong, especially if you haven't tried it. Just try it. Just try it, and just if you don't like it, then tell us to piss off. But
take it out and shoot it.
Right.
If you don't like it and say those guys are dumb, but it's just it is a quintessential. I can spell that. Classic Kentucky bourbon.
Yeah.
You know, it's just good. So let's come up to another classic Kentucky bourbon. If you can't find this stuff, this is about a little bit cheaper, maybe than $40.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit.
Knob Creek, of course, they've got tons of different kinds of Knob Creek. I'm a big fan of a lot of the store picks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also a big believer in, especially Knob Creeks, you should try it before you buy it. Store picks.
Right. The good thing about the batch is it's all 9 years old. So I mean, it's in today's world, most of your store picks are 9, 10 years old. So why?
9 years old, 10 years old,
right.
Similar price points. Look, you get a little more proof with this, which a lot of people like that extra flavor. Classic Jim Beam, flavor profile. We just did a video on a store pick of this from Red Barrel Liquors down in Mooresville, Indiana, and we really both like that pick. Fantastic. But just a regular old batched 100 proof Jim Beam. Can't find this. This is as good.
Yeah.
This is kind of my go-to when I go to a restaurant that doesn't have. If I look at the whiskey list, right, and there's something, and I don't see anything that catches my eye, like I don't have it already. Everybody's got this. Just give me a Knob Creek neat, and I'm solid.
Mm-hmm.
Or Wild Turkey 101. You go ahead, and I'm going to pull an 11th bottle.
So here's the next one, guys, and a lot of people might be upset about this too, but I don't really care. Four Roses single barrel. It's pretty much the same thing as it's 100 proof, but the price point's pretty much the same. The mash bill is probably a little different, but if you've never had Four Roses or you don't know anything about Four Roses, you should check it out. They've been around for a long time. They know how to make whiskey. They know how to make whiskey right, and this is far easier to find than this.
That's everywhere in Indiana.
Yeah.
Now, when you get into the store picks, now you're getting into some unicorn territory.
Right.
But what I'll say this, and I won't try not to go off on too much of a tangent. When I started off drinking bourbon, you could probably attest to this with something. I didn't think I liked that. I thought my favorite Four Roses was the small batch, not the small batch select, the plain old small batch. And as my taste kind of evolved and I started getting more into whiskey, that I like it more. Your taste change, right?
Yeah.
Over time, you start to appreciate different things that you didn't appreciate before, and that's the best example I can give where I've kind of evolved into something different. So, hey, this next one we want to talk about coming out of Newport, Kentucky, right across the river from Cincinnati, Ohio. Really cool place to do a tour if you get a chance. They got a well where they get their water out of.
That's what I heard.
Down in the handicap spot.
That's what I heard.
So this was also in our Blanton's video, and somebody so graciously told us this tastes like hobo piss. Well, I think that's dumb. The single barrels are really solid. And if you get a chance, some of the store picks are out of this world.
Yeah, some of the single barrel store are private selections, man. They're some of the best around, in my opinion.
There is
as far as being able to drink them.
There is still some of the Red Barrel left, and that really surprises me because that's gotten a lot of attention on local Facebook groups and stuff. That's a fantastic new riff pick.
Mm-hmm.
We had one. Do you remember going way back when we first started doing this? We were able to taste one at Wise Guys Whiskey Lounge. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, this is a little higher proof, also 102.8.
And they all vary between 100 and 110. Some of them, I've seen some as high as 116.
A lot of these guys, like Blanton's is a great example. They're all proof. These single barrels are all proof to the same. But it is what it is, right? This is good stuff, and I don't know if they put a little science into that and find where it's the best at. But New Riff, about the same price ish.
Yeah, nowadays I would think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a nice smaller, not quite craft, but it's a smaller distillery. I had a really good time there.
Yeah,
it's very modern. You're up, Kit.
This Old Forester birthday bourbon. It is a traditional whiskey. It's 10 years old, just like this one.
Same age.
And it is 98 proof, so it's a little higher proof, but
it doesn't quite drink as good as this.
No, and in Central Indiana, it's available everywhere. So the price point on this is significantly higher than this. Is the only bad thing. So,
but it's good.
Yeah, and their claim to fame is that Old Forester was the first bottled bourbon. So who knows?
So the next one up on our list is Russell's Reserve 10 year. This is a batch product, but it's 10 years old, coming to you at 90 proof. Very similar. You'll see a lot of people.
Right, bud?
I think I got something stuck in there. So this is a lot of people will tell you that this is a little better than this. These are very close, and this and the next one that we're going to talk about are probably. Is that Mike?
No. What I will say about this, for 10 years old, the price point on that,
it's cheaper than this.
Yeah, you can't argue.
And this is still, you can go find this.
Oh, yeah.
You might have to go to 2 places or 3 places.
It's available.
It's available. Now, what's gotten crazy, in my opinion, we'll just go ahead and talk about it, is when you go to the single barrels, this is a store pick. You know what these cost now?
They're expensive. They're way higher than
double what they used to be.
Way higher than they should be.
Yeah, they're good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say it's not a good deal, but come on, Jimmy, let's get it together and get these prices down for working folks like us.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You think he's got a lot to say so in that? All right, you're up. We said that we'd do this one next.
I'm going to do this one.
Oh, okay.
Another Heaven Hill product, guys. Elijah Craig small batch. And this is 94 proof. And I'm going to guess that the age on it is between probably 6 and 8 years. I don't know that 100%. I've never been told that by anybody at the distillery. But this right here, it's a batch one, obviously. But, man, it drinks like tea.
Why don't you put a little nip of that in there?
Drinks like tea. So I really don't think that you can go wrong. And it is literally available any place that whiskey is sold.
And correct me if I'm wrong. See if you agree with this statement. That and the Evan Williams Bottled Bond, bang for their buck. It's right there, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, it actually costs a little bit more than the Evan Williams. So
it is. So we were talking the other day. We want to do a budget tournament thing, and if we look at criteria, $25 and below is being budget. That barely sneaks in if you go to certain stores.
Yep.
Certain stores it's more, so it's right around that price point. Fantastic stuff. So next up on our list, and we'll get to getting 1792 small batch, 93.7 proof. I do not know the age on this. I'll throw it up on the screen if I can find it. This stuff, it goes in waves around here, right? It's everywhere right now. I'm a big fan of
in 2 months it'll be gone for another 6 months, and then there'll be a truckload of it show up here and there. And
we have said this like 3 or 4 times. We are in dire need of a dram of the port finish for an episode. We have because we want to taste it against the
other establishments' port wine finish.
Yeah, they're them.
Right.
Yeah. So if you've got that and you want to be featured on an episode, get a hold of us. We'd like to check that out. This stuff is good, solid stuff. Obviously, if you've watched this, we haven't talked about it much lately, but I love the sweet wheat. Chad got me hooked on the sweet wheat, and the full proof is one of my absolute favorite whiskeys.
That's one of the best drinkers for a full proof out there.
And we kind of have neglected that. We don't talk about it very much. And a lot of the reason is because what I have, I want to...
Nobody wants to hear it either.
Hear what?
How good that is.
Not sexy, right?
Right.
It doesn't have a horsey.
But it's made
show them that samurai.
It's made by people with horses.
Or a samurai or a caribou. Check out that caribou. Yeah, get that out here. Then got one of these. And notice this is not on the list.
but it is a single barrel.
Oh yeah,
It's Canadian single barrel, but
French whiskey.
Yep.
I think you're up.
I am.
Yeah. That's a store pick. But that's all right.
They don't need to know that. Can you make a galloping sound when you edit this?
There it is. You hear it?
Yep.
Like the Kentucky
Plain
Derby
old Buffalo
over.
Trace, guys. Obviously, the same people that make this are the same people that make that, and this is not a single barrel, but
Same mash bill. It's different mash bill, right?
I think one's BT1, one's BT2. I think. But you know, this we are fortunate because for some reason in the state of Indiana, this is everywhere. I mean, everywhere.
CBS.
Yeah, for $22, $23, $24, $25 a bottle. As much of it as you can buy. And I don't know why that is. And I feel bad for you guys that live out west, or you guys that live down south, or you guys live up in the Northeast that would like to have it and be able to get it and you can't. But in Indiana, it's everywhere. And it's cheaper, and it'll drink just as good. Just as well, I should say.
And that's one that we don't talk enough about. I've been drinking that a lot.
We don't talk enough about it because it's so scarce in the rest of the country, and I don't know why we are blessed with having it everywhere, but we do.
I mean, we could literally have a truckload tonight just by driving around.
Yeah.
So this is one I grabbed at the last second because it just hit me, and I think this is a fantastic alternative. Is Wild Turkey 101. This is not the stuff you take shot. I mean, yes, this is the stuff you took shots of in college, right?
Yeah.
And just got stupid drunk on. But if you haven't had it since then, sit down with a nice pour of this stuff and sip on it neat. It's going to really surprise you. Obviously, 101 proof. It's a batch product coming out of Wild Turkey, but
it's their signature product.
It holds up against the Russell's Reserve.
I would hope.
I mean, it's half the price.
I know.
And for those of you that don't know, is this the one we did? Like this stuff right here, it's like $70 a pint.
Mm-hmm.
It lost to Wild Turkey 101. WB Soffel did. Both of us, not just one. And one of us said by a lot. I think I said by a lot. And we picked the WB Soffel instead of the Bond and Lillard because we kind of thought this would hold up better. Is why it went in the bucket because this is better than that. Which means, 101's way better than both of them. I have not had the third one, which is, I can't remember what it's called now, but there is a third one. Anyhow, you're up.
All right, guys. Last one I've got is 10 cup, 10-year American whiskey. It's 84 proof. We've done this. We've done a couple episodes at least.
This.
Yeah. And I think this won.
You picked it.
I think I
picked
did.
Eagle Rare.
Right.
I believe.
Right. So I think this is this weeded?
No.
It is not weeded.
It's got a shot glass.
Okay. But yeah, and just so everybody's aware, this 10 cup is in Colorado, but this is an Indiana product. This is a Rouse and Squid product. So, if you can make good whiskey in Kentucky, you can make good whiskey in Southern Indiana too. And they make a lot. So,
just my opinion, those are your two number one contenders that you can go buy. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, flavor profiles, age, proof, the whole 9 yards, easy to find.
And they're all single.
I heard that these aren't easy to find in Florida. So if you're in Florida, you might have a hard time. So what about this? Sugar cream pie moonshine?
No.
We said we weren't going to talk about that.
Right.
I just trick chatting to drink them long before we start here. So that's it, guys. If you like Eagle Rare, and most of you do, it's great whiskey.
I think it's good.
We like it. We ended up with 11 alternatives to Eagle Rare that are somewhat easy to find. We hope that helps. We hope you can find some. And the best part of drinking whiskey is open this stuff. Don't hoard the Eagle Rare.
Don't sleep on this.
Stuff right there is fantastic. And one of the reasons I love doing these videos, it's like I just had you pour a little bit of that Elijah Craig in here. I haven't had a taste of Elijah Craig in months.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
You just forget about these things.
It's easy to drink. Super easy.
Yeah, we'll get into another video series where we'll talk about you don't need to be hunting this stuff and maybe 10 or 20 bottles for a whole collection you can cover all your bases with. You don't need to get crazy like all this nonsense. So what else you got, Chief?
That's all I got.
Hey, drink whiskey will be fun. Open it. Hey, and if you can, drink it blind.
You should.
And
That'll help you. That'll help you figure out what you really like and what you don't like.
And if this is your first time watching bourbon battles, you made it 18 minutes in. That's awesome. Thank you. But go back and watch some of our other stuff. You understand what we mean by drinking it blind and how to do that. So, hey, thanks for joining us. If you drink, don't drive.
Nope.
If you drink, don't drive, do the watermelon crawl.